What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 9 of SuperGen's Nintendo Nation podcast, where we bring you all the Nintendo news of the week that you care about. I'm Joe. This is Ryan.
Sup.
Let's get into it.
All right, what do you got for us this week?
Number 1 on the articles of attention. I got my favorite section, sales.
Okay. Like of a boat?
Yeah, boat sales.
Okay.
Wind sales, yeah. So, sales is just in particular to Mario Kart.
Okay.
And nothing special like numbers or anything fun like that. But it's been almost a week that this game's been out. Already is the number 1 best-selling game on Amazon.
Mario Kart 8?
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Okay.
For Switch. Number 1 selling video game on Amazon
Is that
for the
for
year of
just-
2017 so far.
So in a week. In
less than a week.
Yeah, in the span of less than a week has already been the best games, or the highest selling game on Amazon for 2017.
Correct. Physical selling game. Correct. Technically, number 1 was the $20 PlayStation Network card. Number 2 was the $50 PlayStation Network card.
I'm not understanding
But the first game,
Yeah.
like real game to have been sold, number 1 is Mario Kart.
I'm trying to think of exceptions, and I was trying to think of joking exceptions, Andromeda, all that stupid stuff that came
Yep.
out and went. Nobody cared really that much about it.
Sure.
But then I think, okay, Breath of the Wild sold over a 1-to-1 attach rate on the Switch, so you would think it would have done better than this.
But then then you take into how many people bought their Switch at GameStop, at Best Buy, and they bought Zelda day 1.
So this is what it tells you. It tells you that when you're buying the console, it's scarce. You're going to buy it wherever you can. You're going to buy those launch games wherever you can. However, when it comes to the games coming out, you're as lazy as you can be. You're ordering online.
Yep.
It's coming to your door. Case closed.
There you go. Once you have, because the hard part's the system. The software is not hard to get. The system's what's hard to get. So once you get the system and then you let your guard down for that, now you're just kicking back.
Now I'm going to say one more thing.
Okay, cool, here you
I
go.
want to know the percentage of people who have Prime accounts and bought that, who are like redeeming, not like redeeming, but using their 20% off as like a benefit.
Sure.
Because if you're lazy, you're not going to order online. You're going to get that midnight release digital download. It's on the system. All you had to do was click a button. You didn't even have to open the envelope, take it out, then take the cartridge out.
That's true too.
So this wasn't the most laziness, and
Right.
I'm disappointed that like.
But if you
these
have
numbers aren't
Prime,
on
then it
digital.
is because you save money.
Correct.
Yeah, totally agree.
Did you buy it through Amazon?
No,
Okay, either did I. So
I bought it through Best Buy with GCU
same.
on day 1.
Take that,
And I
Amazon.
also bought it from my employer,
Take that, Amazon. See, okay.
GameStop. All right, item number 2. We finally have numbers for the NES Mini,
Okay.
and that sold 2.3 million units in its entire life cycle of 6 months.
Yeah, which that's not bad at
So
all.
cool. I have some quotes though from our Lord and Savior Reggie Hafizameh, and he says, "We'd originally planned for this to be a product for just the holidays, for just last holidays. We just didn't anticipate how incredible the response would be. Once we saw that response, we added shipments and extended the product for as long as we could to meet more of that consumer demand." What do you think of that?
I think it's fine. I don't think they should be releasing more. It's like you said,
Okay.
you had your chance.
Okay.
Here's the thing: when they release more, it's going to be like Amiibos next, and then these things are going to be like, why do we have so many? Then why do we have to clearance it out?
There you
and
go.
all that's going to happen. So no matter what, Nintendo can't win, so they're better off pulling out early.
Okay, I agree. Because I was just going to bring that up about Amiibo. Is like there are some Amiibo at GameStop right now that are on clearance for $2.99. Granted,
Yeah,
it's the
and
Animal Crossing Amiibo.
Okay.
But like go to Best Buy, like Falco's like $8.97
No, he's not.
or something
Falco's
like that.
$4.99 at Best Buy, and then what you used to use down
there
at
you go.
$3.99.
There you go. So now they're just dropping all over the place, and it's like, oh, but I thought they were so in demand, and it's like, you know, but it's like once Breath of the Wild ones come back, and once the retro Zelda ones come back, like those are gonna sell like crazy too. So it's the Amiibo's a little different because it's series, but it's like the NES. It's like it's even gonna like it's gonna be you're gonna make 10 million more and put them out there, and eventually you're just gonna have.
And
them
it's just going to saturate
finally.
the market, and all the people who are using it to scalp, that's going to be returned to stores. Then nobody's going to want this because it's not rare.
Exactly. So he had a follow-up quote that says, "Even with that extraordinary level of performance, we understand that people are frustrated about not being able to find the system, and for that we really do apologize. But from our perspective, it's important to recognize where our future is and the key areas that we need to drive. We've got a lot going on right now, and we don't have unlimited resources." Which, this is exactly what I said in last episode or the episode prior, where it's a business. Nintendo's a business. They only have, Japan's not a big country. They only have so many factories, you know, that they can rent out, that they can use to produce. They're making Amiibo, they're making 3DS stuff, they're like
New 2DS.
pushing out all the Switch stuff, and now you've got the new 2DS, which we didn't know about at the time of the whole NES Classic debacle.
Yeah.
So now we know that they're in the works of making a whole brand new system after the Switch. You know what I mean? So it's like they do have a lot going on. Like where Reggie says, he's like, yeah, we got a lot going on right now. I'm like, you know what? You guys do. Like, you have so much going on, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I totally understand that the NES Classic, like the one thing you were selling for $60, that probably cost you in the end probably around $45 to make. So you're making $15 every time you sell one. Like that versus the $300 Switch, the $150 2DS, the $200 3DS. You know, all the amiibos, all the software, all that stuff. That's such a more like profitable area for you to be in than this little like gimmick of a thing where it's like, okay, cool, here you go, like this is just to like appease people while they were waiting for the Switch. That's the whole point of the NES Classic. That's what it was there for. And then I was just talking to someone else too, and he was like, yeah, and you know, another reason is like when they're pushing Virtual Console, which has to be coming at E3, they're gonna sell all those NES games for $5 a piece for $4.99 for an NES game.
Yeah.
You have $5 times your 30 games, right? That's $150 versus the 30 games on the NES Classic was only $60. That's less than half the
Now I'm
price.
going to stop you there.
You know what I mean?
Okay? Because, yes, it could cut into the sales, but I don't think exactly. Only because if I saw some games that I really wanted to play, hey, I could now buy these on the go. If I'm going
Sure.
I'm traveling somewhere now, I could play this here, and I could take it where I'm going. It's not like you're lugging around your NES Mini. Granted, it's small. But then you got to find a TV to hook it up to and all that other stuff. Whereas
Totally
on the
agree.
Switch, it's now like on your portable console. So it's a little bit conflicting, but I don't think exactly.
Yeah. I think it would cut
it's a
in.
valid
I think
argument.
I think it would cut in. It may not cut in as much as, you know, some would say,
Yeah.
but it would have an effect.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's just a little tidbit about the NES Mini. Now it is completely sold out. No more places are getting any more shipments of it.
Rest
They
in
are
peace.
gone. If you didn't get yours at retail by now, I'm sorry, you're never going to.
It's an eBay exclusive.
There you go. That's wonderful, eBay. And then speaking of what we just said about the 2DS happening, we watched the one video was actually breaking news on our last video, last episode. Happened right up. They've released a little bit more info and stuff on it. How are you feeling about it?
Oh, good.
After having a week to kind of think about it.
If I didn't have a 3DS, and if I didn't have a 3DS XL, or a new 3DS, like, you know, if I didn't have everything already, yeah, I'd buy it.
Really?
Fire Emblems are coming out. If you didn't play Pokemon, pick it up to play Pokemon. The Bravery games, all that good stuff is like there. Dragon Quest is now back on 3DS. There's a reason to pick this up if you've been out of the 3DS scene for a while and you no longer have it.
Sure.
So for that reason, I think it's a good thing. What was the price point again? Did they say
$150, $149.99.
And a normal 3DS is
To $199.99.
okay. See, I don't really care about the 3D at all. That's just like a gimmick.
And that's the
and I
thing.
have
Not
bad
a
eyes.
single person does.
Yeah, like I would
No
prefer
no games like required it. The
Yeah.
only one that even like utilized it to like a good function that was mainstream was Mario 3D Land.
Yeah,
You know, which it had really cool like puzzles and stuff for you to use there. So it's like
I think it should have been a little bit cheaper. I'm not gonna lie.
the 2DS.
Yeah,
Yeah,
put it at $100 Prime. You know, you don't have to include in game anything. If you don't want to include the charger, don't
Sure.
include the charger. That's how Nintendo rolls.
Yeah, but that's
But then imagine
stupid.
going to the store, you buy your 2DS or new 2DS, $100. You buy the charger, which is what, 30 probably or 20?
Charge $10.
Oh, it's only 10. Not bad.
I
but-
think. Well, I mean,
okay,
the one I have.
but that's good. I'm cool with that. So you buy $100 for the console, you buy $10 for the charger, and then you spend $40 on your game of choice. You're walking out of the store with like $150 before tax.
Sure.
Not bad. Which I think that would sell a lot of 2DS consoles and all that.
Sure.
Now at $150, and then if you have to buy the charger on top of that, and then you buy a game on top of that, now you're like, oh man, I'm spending almost $200 something, and a Switch is only $300.
Right. So
You
you're
know?
already almost like partway there.
Exactly.
Now the thing you get with the 2DS though is you do get the vast library of games that have already come out.
True.
As opposed to having to wait for more titles to happen.
Yeah.
Another coworker I was talking to, she never had a 3DS. She's never done anything, but she had loved her Game Boy and like really liked the Pokemon games stuff like that. And she goes, "I'm buying one." Like she's like, when they come out, like I'm getting one. Like I'm finally jumping into this 3DS game market.
Yeah.
And she goes, the 3D was never a huge factor to me, which it wasn't, to most people.
Yeah.
And she goes, it's awesome that I finally get to play, like, I get to play Pokemon. I get to play all, like, the 5 different Pokemon games that were on here. I get to play the cool Mario games, the cool RPGs, Luigi's Mansion, like, the whole spectrum of awesome games on that system.
Yeah.
And she's like, it sucked having to wait 6 years to get into it, but she's like, the fact that I get into it now, I have this cool 2DS. She's like, the way it looks is awesome. It looks like a 3DS where it folds and everything. She goes, that's really cool. Like the way the buttons are set up, like it's a cool piece of tech. And she's like, and now I have 6 years worth of games that I get to play that I just get to pick which ones are good.
I agree
and
100%.
play. And I'm like, that's awesome. So I really do think this was a good move for Nintendo. I think this was cool, and I think this is going to be their way right now, I think they're going to try and phase out the 3DS now, and I think they're going to keep the 2DS at 150 and the Switch at 300, and that's going to be their 2-pillar thing.
And I'm going to throw this out there, though. The icing on the cake would be if they had interchangeable faceplates you could buy for different games and all that kind of stuff. Because after the Joy-Cons, where everybody's kind of into it, oh, I want, the neon ones, or I want 2 blue, I want 2 red, I want these new ARMS ones.
Yeah.
They'd be a fool if they didn't do like some kind of different colors or characters on it.
Yeah, and what they actually did, there's one that was announced for Japan. They're getting a Dragon Quest exclusive system.
That would be cool.
In Japan.
Get some
I think we're getting
on
a few different colors. We have blue, and I think we're getting a couple other colors. But I don't think it's being confirmed.
I hope it's red, white, and blue.
That'd be really cool for America. But then they had for the original new 3DS when that came out. So there was the 3DS, 3DS XL, new 3DS, new 3DS XL, 2DS, new 2DS XL is where we're at now. But the new 3DS XL, the little one, that wasn't even available in North America until much later, and it was only like the Animal Crossing. There was an Animal Crossing one, and then there was a Pokemon when Pokemon Red and Blue were coming out again on eShop. Yeah, that got one, and it was Blastoise and Charizard. That one had interchangeable faceplates. And that was a Europe, like the console, the base console you could buy, and the faceplates and everything were only in Europe, I think, and definitely in Japan. Yeah. And there was the smaller one though, and then the XL didn't have the faceplates or anything. But you can possibly find a 3DS, a small new 3DS XL, with like Animal Crossing faceplates or Pokemon faceplates or colors or Mario or like whatever you want. You can change it. So I think having that been like a thing and having that have worked so well over here, like I don't know why they wouldn't think we'd want that in the first place. Like why would you only make that a Japan, Europe thing? I don't know. But that would be cool if they would have brought this in, and I don't think they did, just because the way it looks is that it looks like it's like got like some weird kind of like cloth, like hard material is what it's made of, and then it has like rubber edging around it. Is what it looks like, and that's what the colored part is like the little rubber accents are colored. And it looks cool, and like the design of it's super cool. So I think a lot of people have been hating on it and been like, this thing looks really stupid, like this looks dumb, but I think it's cool. Like I'm excited.
Now, what if the faceplates weren't changeable, but the console's only 100? Then people would collect them. It's in the realm of collecting rather than now 150. It's like
totally agree.
Outside
that's
the realm
cool
of it.
Because that's like the regular 2DS now, like the one that doesn't fold. That's like the big like crappy looking thing. That thing, that thing is a piece of junk. At least like form factor wise. But that one had really cool ones where it was like, I don't know if you remember like the old N64 controllers, like the transparent ones, and like they had the transparent like Game Boy Color and stuff like that, where you could like see through and like see into it. They had that for the original 2DS, those they call them like the crystal ones, and there was red, blue, and yellow for like the Pokemon games when that happened.
I do remember.
And I'm like, that's super cool. And I know people who have those, and like I've seen pictures on Instagram and stuff of people who have like collected the different kinds of 2DSs where they have like the different colors and like the see-through colors and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm like, that's really cool. So like that's awesome that you're treating this like as a collectible versus like, oh yeah, this is like my one system. Like no one's going out collecting Switches. But it's like, oh, cool, I'll collect the Joy-Con part of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's cool. So all in all, I think 2DS, good job, Nintendo. Like,
not a bad idea. Could have been better.
Sure.
That's my motto.
But I mean, that's like Nintendo's like motto for everything they do.
That's what I just said.
Not bad. Yeah. Oh, did you?
I just said that's my motto for Nintendo.
Oh, I thought you meant like for the 2DS. Sorry, my bad.
You're good.
Cool. So moving on, item number 4, we've got Capcom, famed maker of one of my favorites, Resident Evil, says that they fully intend to support the Switch. That's what they said when the Switch was launching, when we didn't know what the NX was. And it's like, okay, cool, we've heard this before. Like, we've heard this 1,000 times before from so many people. That's what Ubisoft said about the Wii U. It was like, oh, yeah, we're going to support it. And we get Zombie U, I think was, like, one of, like, the only, like, exclusive games we got for it. And then, like, the crappy Assassin's Creeds and, like...
Assassin's Creed 3 was crappy is what you're trying to tell me.
Well, Assassin's Creed 3 was crappy. Regardless of what system you played on, that game was trash. But they did end up getting... The Wii
console version wasn't superior.
It was not. But then they also got Black... I know, right?
Yeah.
But no matter what system it was, if it was Xbox 360 or PS3 that you played 3 on, well, it was a trash game. Yeah. But Black Flag also came out on Wii U, and it's like, who cares? Like, who wants to play that? No one. Like,
I mean, I want to play
you know what I mean?
Black
And
Flag.
then they had Rayman, but on the Wii U. Like, would that have been your choice?
No, definitely not on the Wii U.
Right. And so then we get Rayman Legends. Yeah. And that's really cool. And that was supposed to be an exclusive until Ubisoft looked at it and said, oh, well, the Wii U didn't sell very well. We're not going to sell these copies. We're going to delay the Wii U version to put them out on 360 and PS3. Yeah. So we can sell more copies. I'm like, great. So the other, like, the actual exclusive that would have been a good game, you've taken away. You know what I mean? So it's like, so my point is, we've heard this bore that people intend to support Nintendo, and chances are something goes and falls through.
Hey, who made Darksiders?
THQ.
At least they're still supporting the Wii U.
They are, because they're getting Darksiders 1
still coming out.
Then the reason I bring all that up for Capcom is that they just reconfirmed this with their last financial report, which was only a couple of weeks ago, that the Switch is on the list of systems that they will be bringing their assortment of games to. So I looked at like the little post thing that they put up, and it was like, oh yeah, like we plan to like be making all these games. We're gonna put them out on all the major current gen systems. Yeah. And then there was even like a little like addendum thing of like, this includes the Nintendo Switch. So I'm like, that's cool. That was like a couple of weeks ago.
So that means nothing to me.
Awesome.
Zero.
I think it means that cool stuff's
gonna happen. They could have one game in
happen.
development, and it's not like you're hoping for Resident Evil or something iconic like that.
I don't think it will. I don't think like
That's
Resident Evil's
saying.
coming or anything like that. And even if it's just like a bunch of like remasters or whatever, that can happen too. But it's like in just a few weeks, Super Street Fighter 2 is coming, and that's a Capcom game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's technically a new game because it's like has new.
Maybe they'll bring Street Fighter 5 over.
Maybe
and everybody will rejoice.
I could see that. Like,
Nobody
I bet that would
care.
happen. But it's like, so I don't know. So it's just interesting to see, and like, it makes me happy though that Capcom. I like Capcom games, even if it's like a Mega Man thing that they bring over. Like,
Mighty Number 9.
Cool. Like, bring it over. But whatever you want to put on the Switch, just put it on there. Like, put it out there. People will make their choices. You know. So it'd be cool. Capcom in support. I like it. Moving on. Reggie also says that they're going to continue to support the 3DS well into the year of 2018. He says, quote, "We will certainly be announcing new titles for the 3DS platform, and we'll do that continuously. Some things will be announced at E3. There will be some that we announce after E3. For us, E3 is an important event, but it's not the one defining moment."
I'm going to say this. I'm going to fix what he said because I know he said something incorrectly. It should have said, Reggie says that they will support the 2DS into 2018.
It should have.
I could see them totally phasing that out and just having this $150 2DS. Nothing's going to be...
That's what I just said earlier. It's like I can totally see that happening, but Nintendo gets scared when they need to let a console die. And it's not until they're like hammered over the head with it and make $0 on it that they finally let it happen. But man, when Nintendo wants you to die, it dies. You know, like the Wii U they're just like, yep, we're releasing Zelda for it because we promised you Zelda, and after that, it's done. And that happened within like a 4-month period of like, oh yeah, the Wii U's great. Like the Wii U, Zelda's still coming for the Wii U. Like Wii U's so supported, like all this stuff. And then it was like, oh yeah, when Zelda comes out, we're done. You know, and like it's just all Switch all the time now. It's like they don't even want to talk about the Wii U anymore. Like that got killed.
I wouldn't want to either.
Exactly. It only sold 13 million units. Like who cares? But the 3DS, which is now hitting like the 60 million unit number, you know, it's like that's clearly a moneymaker for them. They really want to like keep that thing alive. So I think they're gonna say that the 3DS is big, and they're gonna keep it going until they're ready to say it's all 2DS now. So I don't think they're ready. Just like with the Wii U, they kept the Wii U going up until like a few months before the Switch even came out, you know? So it's like I think they're just going to do the same thing with this, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, now it's 2DS. Like none of these games require 3D, which none of them require 3D anyway right now. Yeah. So very interesting. But the big thing for me that I took out of this was for us, E3 is an important event, but it's not the one defining moment, which I love because I think so many other studios use E3 as their defining moment, where it's like, oh yeah, cool, we'll wait for E3 to happen, and that's when we're gonna like, you know, blow our load about everything, and it's gonna be great. And then you see Sony taking over, where they sometimes go to the Tokyo Game Show, which they don't anymore. They go to whatever's in Paris, you know, they go to that Paris Games Week. They happen, you know, and they go to that sometimes. But then they always do PSX, and that's like their new thing now. Yeah. Is PSX.
I mean, they killed E3 last year anyway, Sony.
They did. That's
the only thing I can remember from E3. Yeah, Spider-Man.
Or was it 2 years ago?
No, it was last year.
What was the one where it was like all trailer?
That was last year.
Okay.
Like
that
Days
one was
Gone,
awesome.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was absolutely
amazing.
Saying. Sure, and like, but then we had PSX.
It's the only thing I remember from E3.
Sure, and then we had PSX where they announced even more stuff, and it was like, hey, cool, here's like all the in-depth stuff. Like, yeah, E3 was all our trailers. PSX, this is where we're going to talk about all of it. Yeah. So I'm like, that's awesome that like they've taken and been like, oh yeah, it's not just about E3 anymore. But you look at Xbox, who's arguably doing the worst right now, and it's like, oh yeah, they do that, and then it's like, what else do they do? Like they have the Microsoft conference where they talk about like PC stuff, but it's like
they're going to talk about what games they're going to cancel.
Who cares? Next. You know, exactly. So I don't know. So very interesting. But I'd like that this just kind of like enhances or enforces rather the fact that Nintendo owns the Directs, and they are like, yeah, like this is our thing. This is the platform we choose to use to present all of our news. I think that's awesome because when they do a Direct and it's recorded and it's like and it's made like they can cater it however they want. That's awesome. Like that's when they're at their best. So I'm excited, and they said they're not doing a press conference this year at E3 either, which is cool. Which means it's going to be another direct focus thing, and like that's awesome. Like that's cool because like the directs only last 45 minutes maybe, so it's like going to be an awesome like, hey, here's our 45-minute video that we uploaded to our YouTube. Like here you go, or like however they do it. So that's going to be really cool. Moving on, we have ARMS. More details about ARMS came out, and I'm really excited for it.
I'm just waiting for them to make legs at this point.
Right?
I've already had enough of ARMS.
What about shoulders, knees, and toes?
That might be like the third one.
Is that going to be the DLC?
That'll be to complete the trilogy.
I'm excited for it, though. I think it looks really cool. I think it'll be a cool fighting game. It has Pro Controller support, which for me is a big deal. So I'm like, that's awesome. But they announced a new character over this past week whose name is Helix.
I saw that.
Yeah, and he's like the little green dude. I said he looks like a little green Jello dude.
Okay.
And he looks awesome. And in the trailer they showed is like he can like squat and like almost like melt down into like nothing, or he can like stretch super thin and be like really tall, and that's how he can fight. And so when you punch, like if his punch is like about to come and hit you in the body, you just stretch like super skinny, and your punch like goes around him.
Okay.
And like that's really cool. And then there was something else where he can like lean, where he's like really like flexible at leaning, and someone was doing like their super punches, and he was dodging every single super punch by like leaning back and forth.
Got it.
And I'm like, that's really cool. So I think it looks awesome, and they keep doing like these little like character updates and stuff like these, and like new characters they keep announcing. I'm like, that's awesome. Just keep it coming because ARMS releases either the last day or the day after E3. I don't remember. Yeah. But it's like right around when E3 ends. Like is ARMS like comes out, and it's for everybody. I'm like, that's awesome. Keep like pushing as much stuff as you can, and then just do a little snippet of it at E3, and then there you go. Because you've released so much stuff on it already. We don't need to waste a lot of time on it at E3 because we're gonna play it in a week anyway. So I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Next up for ARMS, each fighter now has 4 different color schemes to choose from. So this reminds me a lot of Smash Bros. You know how you can like pick your different things for Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool, and I'm excited to see like how they look because I think they're like different outfits and stuff too, like are tied into that. So that looks really cool. And ARMS, like I don't know, I'm pumped for it. I think it'd be cool, but I'm also a Nintendo fanboy, like trying to like support everything. So I don't know, I'll bring it and we'll play co-op and you'll love it. And then the last thing they announced for it is that 2 to 8 players on local wireless and online is how you can do. So you can have 8 players fighting
in one ring.
I think so. They weren't clear on it, but that'd be really cool. Yeah. That sounds awesome though. Like that would probably be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then they announced like some different like ARMS like power ups and stuff like that in there that we're not going to get into. Moving on the game train, we've got Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga leaked for the Nintendo 3DS. Did you ever play that one? The original Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga?
Yeah, on Game Boy Advance.
On Game Boy Advance, yeah, it was the first one.
That was a long time ago, man.
I know.
That was when only Game Boy Advance was out.
Yeah, and so...
Wait, question, did you got the stuff about the rabbits?
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
Yeah. This ain't my first rodeo.
I'm just
yeah, so anyway, Mario & Luigi... They're supposedly like a week ago or something. They had there was like a leak that it was coming to 3DS, and someone like went into the code of something or other. I don't know, and they found like, oh yeah, this is where this game's coming out. Like it's going to be called Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga DX, which Nintendo has done that in the past before, where they've released Link's Awakening on the original Game Boy, and then they released Link's Awakening DX, and that was playable only on Game Boy Color, and it was the entire game, but it was just redone in color because now they have that technology.
Yeah.
So the DX title is, classic Nintendo there. And I think that's really cool. But then it came out just yesterday or a couple days ago that apparently it's called Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga and Bowser's Minions.
Playing on the Minions.
Yeah, like, do you think like the Despicable Me Minions will be in it?
I think that's a nod to the Rabbids coming.
Sure, that's honestly what I first thought of was like the Rabbids thing. But that then now is expected to be like there was so much stuff that was found out about it, like that this game like exists.
Yeah,
that they think that's going to be one of the E3 announcements there. Next up is about shipping and the cost, or not the cost, but rather the availability of the Nintendo Switch, which I know a lot of people still have not been able to get, and I still get like 12 calls a day at GameStop about it. Like, hey, do you guys have them in? Nintendo actually just recently shipped a bunch over to us via airplane.
Okay.
Which normally they don't do. Normally
they just drone them in.
Yeah, they normally just use boats and like let them just like, like hit over here. And that's because using boats and like that kind of storage and stuff is way cheaper. Like that keeps the cost way down. Using airplanes to have like 3-day shipping or whatever costs a lot more money. But clearly Nintendo's like, yeah, we don't care. We're doing it. So That's cool. Like, way to go.
I'm surprised they're doing it.
But it's
honestly.
like, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, this is so like not anti-Nintendo, but it's so like not normal Nintendo, because I even wrote down here that it adds shipping costs, and that just goes right into. They're not raising the price of the Switch to accumulate or to like accommodate those shipping costs. You know what I mean? So that goes up. So that's more money that they lose. But it also shows that Nintendo is dedicated to the Switch, where they now believe in this product so much so that they're like, yeah, we're gonna spend more money to have you get this because we know how important
it
is.
honestly makes no
And that's
sense other
awesome.
than a gesture of goodwill.
Yeah.
Why would you want to rush these things into the market? You know they're selling good.
Exactly.
And when it gets here, people are going to buy it. Like, yeah, you could get it there sooner to make money, but you're losing money getting it there faster.
Right. So totally agree. And so this is just kind of them just being like, hey, like, we know you want it, so we're going to provide. Like, we know we screwed up with the NES Mini and you can't get that, but hey, here we are. We're going to produce the Switch for you to get. And it shows that there's a huge demand for the Switch, which we clearly know, you know, and that's awesome. Next up in the line of developers developing for the Switch, we've got Koei Tecmo said that they plan on keep going with Switch exclusives. The next big one that's coming out obviously is Fire Emblem Warriors, and that looks really cool. So, and they also made Hyrule Warriors and Dragon Quest Heroes, which is getting a compilation pack on the Switch. So it's like, hey, keep it coming, you know, more Switch games. NBA Playgrounds is coming out May 9th. I know a lot of people were excited for this. It's like the NBA Jam successor. So it's like, that's really cool because that was a super goofy, fun game. It's bigger than Mario Kart, though.
GB wise?
What's that? Yeah.
GBs?
In the GBs. NBA Playgrounds is 7.5 gigabytes almost, which is crazy.
Probably the opening image is like 4 gigabytes.
You think?
And then the rest of the game, yeah.
And then Mario Kart Deluxe, if you just wanted to download that, is 6.75 gigabytes. But to download this, like, budget NBA Playgrounds, like, basketball game, is 7.5 gigs.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's almost a whole nother gig bigger. Then we have Fire Emblem Season Pass was announced. Aren't you getting the special edition of Valencia?
Probably not getting the season pass.
You're not?
Here's my issue. The first thing you go into, it costs what? $44.99 if you're going to buy it as a pass. What game before has had a season pass that was greater than the cost of the game?
I don't know.
Exactly. Silence. No, we can't even think of anything. That's not right. Like, the additional DLC, I cannot see being any content greater than just the game itself. Okay? So why are we pricing it more than the game? That alone puzzles me. I see you're getting a lot of stuff in there. I was kind of like scrolling through it before. But even then, it's like, okay, here's a bonus dungeon. Here's this. It's like, oh, it's a low-level dungeon, the first one we're going to release, so it's going to help you early on in the game. Then the second one's going to be a little bit more of an intermediate dungeon. It's like, what do they think? People are playing this like an hour a week?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, people are just going to blast through this thing in one day. Yeah, it'll be cool to add the extra content of these dungeons and everything.
Sure.
And then you got Almond Celica amiibos on top of that for $25. So if you wanted all this day one, you're like looking over $100 for a 3DS game and 2 figures.
Yeah.
Couple pins if you were getting that, you know,
The special edition.
which would be even more. Yeah.
Yep. So what this comes with is 22 pieces of content, which sounds like a lot. But really, it could be something as stupid as, like, different outfits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So for those of you who haven't seen it yet, they're going to be released in 5 separate DLC packs.
Yeah.
Altogether, $45. Gets you everything, though. And
now imagine if this was $20, though. Our conversation would be like,
I don't know.
wow, we're getting this right now.
Like 100% get it.
I know.
This says here that fans who want to receive all the DLC will save more than 30% compared to purchasing all 22 content pieces on their own.
Make it $25. I don't even care. $5 a piece, and then you can make it $40 if you have to buy it separately. You know,
sure.
Like it's $8.
Great. Yeah,
a piece.
they could do that. There's tons of stuff they could do. It's weird, and it's weird that it's for Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem's been a series that always has had DLC and stuff. You know, like since it's been on the 3DS.
But when it was Revelations, that was like a full game, not just like here's some packs and stuff.
Exactly, and it's just weird. But Fire Emblem, for whatever reason, they just want to keep pushing the DLC for that. I don't think it'll work that well, but who knows? No. Just a quick little rundown here. DLC pack 1 is the Fledgling Warriors pack, which gives you, like what you were saying, like the early stuff, you know, to kind of help you get into the game. So extra dungeons, more items, more money, stuff like that, more XP. Next one is Undaunted Heroes pack, and that one also gets you a new dungeon. Gives you some new maps and stuff to train on. Like, cool.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure a lot of these are all just like new dungeons and stuff like that. You know. Then we've got one called the Rise of the Deliverance pack. And that one says, discover the previously untold history of Valencia in this prologue pack. So that right there just tells me, oh, cool, it's a prequel. You know what I mean? So it's like, did we really need that though? Like, and that one's more expensive. Like the other ones were.
Yeah, I saw they're all priced.
You know, like they're all priced differently too. And so it's like that one, is $13, and you get like a whole like prologue, like prequel kind of thing. And I'm like, cool, and I get that because it's like each Fire Emblem game, like they're kind of like Final Fantasy, where it's each their own different storyline. But it's like, do we really need that? You know what I mean? Like. I mean, I guess if you're a diehard Fire Emblem fan, then
no,
like you do.
I'm not saying we don't want the content.
Story.
I'm just saying price it accordingly when the content's more than the game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do we need it for that much? You know what I mean? And then the last one is more information will be revealed in the future.
But so
it's like we don't even know what the end thing is going to be.
I'm not judging it now. I'm observing right now.
Sure.
I'll judge it when it comes out and be like, hey, I think the only way people are going to buy this is piece by piece, so they could, okay, I'm spending $7 now, $8. Oh, this one's kind of big. I'll spend $15 to slowly accumulate to that. Whatever X dollar value is going to be, which is probably greater than $45 because they said that was kind of a reduced. I think 30% off. You know?
Yeah.
So that means it's over $60 for all the content if you buy it separately.
Right.
For a $40 game.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's insane. And so we'll see. I mean, Nintendo clearly is new to like DLC and stuff, but I think because it worked so much for Zelda.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That they're just like, okay, cool, it can work in our other franchises.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. So we'll see. That'll definitely be interesting. Then we've got Yooka-Laylee, the Platonic who's developing Yooka-Laylee, says that
they buried in the backyard yet?
What's that? No, that they're actually working a lot.
Why? But just stop. You're good. You could stop now, you know?
What?
The Switch one didn't even come out yet.
Yeah, no.
I know. I'm just saying, they could just... did they even need to release it at this point?
Yeah, 100% yeah.
100%.
Oh, fuck yeah, they do. Like, oh my god, I'm so excited for Yooka-Laylee. Like... It looks great. Like, who cares? Like, oh, the lighting's bad.
I want to tell you this, though.
Oh, your camera's off. So was Mafia, and that game sold 10 billion copies.
Are you
Mafia was trash, and that game sold.
I'm going to disagree with that, but I would also disagree with No Man's Sky, so.
Yeah, there you go. So, but, like, Yooka-Laylee, the point of this story is that Platonic said, oh, yeah, we're working on it now. Like, we're working on the Switch version because it hasn't been released yet. It's still coming out. So we're working to get everything made into this game to work well before we even release it, which is great.
Yeah. Here's what I want to say, too. My thought process on this is it's not going to sell great on the Switch just because even people that I'm talking to online or whatever, and it's like, hey, when they're like, you play Yooka-Laylee yet? I'm like, no. And they're like, yeah, I wanted to get on the Switch, but since I have to wait, I bought it on Xbox. Bought it on PS4, I wanted to get into it. That right there kills Switch sales, you know? So when this comes out, it kind of reminds me of like, what if they would have released Zelda for the Wii U prior to the Zelda Switch launch? You know, like they held off the Switch. Here's Zelda on the Wii U, and then, you know, a few months later, the Switch comes out, it has Zelda Switch game as well, it definitely wouldn't have sold as good.
Correct.
So it's that same thought process I'm going towards this, where it's like
100%.
They really should have got it all at the gate at once, and that would have been best for everybody.
Yep, but Platonic is not Nintendo. You know what I mean? Like, they're two totally... Platonic is an indie studio who had this game funded on Kickstarter. Nintendo is a multi-billion-dollar company who has funding from 40 years worth of...
No, I'm just saying
sales.
Smart business.
You know what I mean?
Like,
yeah, I totally agree.
Business.
But I like this because I'd rather them release a fixed version of the game later for the Switch than the same broken version that everybody else got for the Switch and release that earlier. Like, at least you're releasing the good version now. Yeah. And it's like, I still want to play it. I want to play it just as much as I ever did, but I have the willpower to wait to play it on Switch. Like, I didn't need to play it on that, especially since I'm still playing Zelda, still playing Mario Kart, still playing Persona, still playing Mass Effect, still playing Horizon. Literally 20 other games are out right now. Yooka-Laylee is like down here on like where it needs to be right now. Yeah. But when it comes out later, when it's like a dead period for the Switch, cool, Yooka-Laylee can jump right back up here, you know? So I think there's good and bad to it, but I like the fact that Platonic is like, yeah, we're not just releasing a crappy port, you know, with all the broken stuff in it. We're actually working on fixing it, and it's going to be like the better definitive version on the Switch. Yeah. I like that. That's cool. Next up, we've got Amiibo news, where just today, actually, earlier today, the other Amiibos went live.
No, not all of them, though.
Not all of them. Just Best Buy's exclusive, which was now finally confirmed to be Majora's Mask Link and Bayonetta Player 2.
Yes.
Which was cool because that was even shown if you pre-ordered the Splatoon Amiibo through Best Buy, and you went and looked at your order confirmation, it said that the model name for like the Inkling boy, the model name was Majora's Mask.
Yeah, I remember.
And then the model name for the girl was Bayonetta, and then the model name for the squid was like Upcoming Amiibo or something like that. Yeah. And it was just like super weird. And it's like, okay, cool, we know what it is, but Best Buy like officially never made a comment about it until they went live today, and clearly, you know, that they got announced and everything. Pre-orders were up for like a little while though.
I really don't think they should have waited as long to put the pre-orders up.
No, and
I definitely
sure
lost interest, and I'm like, the only reason I pre-ordered was like, yeah, I know it's gonna be rare. In the back of my mind, it's like I might cancel or I might return.
Yeah, but you know you want the Zelda ones anyway, because you're scrounging to find the Breath of the Wild ones. So you know you're right, exactly.
No, but here's the thing.
You know you're gonna want at least the Link one.
No, but there was so much hype, when that came out. It's like, look at all these coming out. And if it would have been they released them all at the gate at once, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy them all now. Your hype still would have been up there and everything. They've given more than enough time for the hype to come down now. And it's like, okay, yeah, that was cool. Now I gotta wait for those, and now you're making me wait to pre-order more of them, but they're all being released at the same time. And now I'm starting to second think everything, where it's like just shit can the whole idea, cancel them all.
God.
And I'll get them when they're on
you're
clearance.
not even like aren't even like a huge.
I'm just a fair weather amiibo fan.
I think you are. Like when amiibos are cool and when amiibos are popular again, that's when you're like,
I jump on the bandwagon.
Shoot, I gotta get them all. Like me
no,
and Dan,
I like
me
the
and Dan
hunt.
are going hunting for all.
I
the
like
amiibos.
the hunt.
Like, we're
That's
trying
what I
to
like.
hunt for everything.
I'm not gonna lie.
And then when it's like, oh yeah, amiibo can be found everywhere, you're just like, what do these even do?
It'll go on sale.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Like so
gotta
that's the
be
thing. So
smart.
I don't know, but I think just amiibo in general lately have been in this huge upsurge, and that's awesome. And it's just cool that the other ones finally went live today. Now all we have left is the Amazon exclusive.
But I would get Corrin female form, like
Sure.
that one. I won't cancel Corrin or then the female Corrin as long as I get her. I will say this though, shout out to the viewers for those who didn't get the Bayonetta is still live.
Bayonetta is still live, and Bayonetta will be live for a long time.
You just send me a message. And when I'm ready to cancel my Majora's Mask, we'll time it out so it pops up for 2 seconds.
Right.
Snag it.
There you go.
And that's how we roll.
It's live. Yep. Bayonetta Player 2 will probably be live through the weekend because Cloud Player 2 was live for like a week on GameStop's site and in GameStop stores.
Yeah.
Link was the one, the Twilight Princess Link was the one that went quick. It was on the website, GameStop's website though, for like 9 hours or something.
Really?
So it's like you had your chance. Like you could have, like if you were like actively looking for it and like hunting for this thing, like waiting for the announcement that hey it went live, you probably got yours. But it's like it's the people who are like amiibo, I remember that, I'll check in 2 weeks, when they come. And it's like, but then they're the people who are updating Reddit literally like on the top of every hour waiting for like something even faster than that. It's like those are the people who deserve it because they're the ones who are working their butts off to get it. You know what I mean? And it's like, yes, I get that everybody deserves it, and it's like it should be something that like I should be able to just walk in the store and get, but it's not, and that's like an unrealistic thing. You know what I mean? So it's like totally just blowing that out. Here we go. Like the people who are gonna get it are the people who deserve to get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm cool with that. Like it makes me think of people. Like it was up for how long? I'd say less than 4 hours today.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I saw a report in something that they said 4 hours, but they probably were rounding or just like a.
I mean, it's not fair for like the working people and for those people who like have a life.
Sure, totally agree. Totally agree.
But then again, like I'm a working person, probably have a life. I don't know. Still trying to figure that out.
Sure.
But I mean, I got it, no problem.
Right, got it. And like
what are your priorities? I guess. Yeah, it's like
what
are your priorities?
And it's like if you can't like check your phone at work, like I get that, but it's like hey, just go take a piss and take a look. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to pee. You don't have to pee in 4 hours. Like what are you, some kind of robot? Like, come on. So, that's what's going on in the world of Amiibo, which I'm super pumped for, so I got them pre-ordered. I so far have this entire wave pre-ordered. It's awesome, and it's still nothing as bad as Wave 4 Amiibo. Do you remember that one? That was Pac-Man, Charizard, Wario. That, like...
Yeah, I kind of do remember
that. Was, like, brutal to find. Like, they were all gone.
I feel like I remember seeing them in the store, though.
Yeah, the only ones that were up for, like, 10 minutes was just Pac-Man. The rest of them were out like that.
Is that no? That's not Dr. Mario Wave.
No, that was. I think that was like. Yeah, something like that.
6.
So I don't remember the waves anymore. It's all blended together now.
Yeah.
So next up, we also got an announcement, and this was like a shadow release kind of thing of the Zelda DLC. DLC Pack 1 got like really detailed. I'm really excited.
Yeah. No, explain it because I definitely want to hear all this.
So yeah. So number one, the thing you get is called the Trial of the Sword, which if you've played Twilight Princess on the Wii U, Twilight Princess HD on the Wii U, you know what the Cave of Trials is, and that's what powered up your Wolf Link amiibo. You could get it to X amount of hearts, and then you stick that guy in your Breath of the Wild game, and you have Wolf Link appears to help you fight with the same amount of hearts that you had in the Cave of Trials.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's cool, and what it is it's just like a room by room, like gauntlet kind of thing, where it's like, okay, cool, you got to take out this room, you move on to the next room, you got to take this room out, move on to the next room, take this one out. So, whatever. And so this new one is called the Trial of the Sword, and what that does is you have to access this new location. They're putting a new location in there. It's a new sacred location, they call it, in here. And it's enemies appear one after the other. Link starts without any armor or weapons, and if he defeats all of the enemies in the room, he can proceed to the next room. Trial of the Sword will include around 45 total rooms for players to complete. Excuse me. When Link clears all of the trials, the true power of the Master Sword will awaken and always be in its glowing, powered-up state.
So it's like a horde mode, and when you beat it, you don't have to recharge the Master Sword.
Great. Yep. And
so I summed it up in like a sentence that they took a paragraph to write.
Sure, but they have to go into like super detail and stuff.
I guess.
Now, the cool thing with the Master Sword thing, which I know you haven't gotten to the Master Sword yet.
Yeah.
And so the way the Master Sword works, which is maybe minor spoilers, but whatever, you probably played the game by now, is that when you're near a guardian or when you're near darkness or when you're near like an enemy of the darkness or whatever, it kind of pulls a Lord of the Rings, and it has your sword glows, and it goes, its base stat is 30. So it's like if you're using it on like a regular bokoblin or regular moblin or whatever, you're at 30. But if you are near a guardian or something else, it boosts it up to 60.
Okay.
And so what this sounds like is once you beat it, you're gonna always have that 60 powered thing. But the Master Sword can still break. But it doesn't break, it just loses its power, and it goes down to 0, and you can't even equip it for 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, it recharges, and then you're good to use it again. But it never like breaks like the other weapons do. Now, what this sounds like to me when it says the Master Sword will awaken and always be in its
just a weapon you always
state,
have and can use.
Yeah, it makes it sound like, but when it's in its powered up state, like if you're using it on a Guardian and it's 60, it can't break then. But if you're using it as 30, it can break. So this makes it sound like it won't be breakable, which would be very interesting because this would be the only weapon in the entire game that does not break. That sounds interesting. Number 2 is hard mode, which is just what it sounds like. It's hard mode. Every enemy that you fought before gets raised up. So it's like if you were fighting a red bokoblin, now it's a blue one. Wherever a blue one was, now there's a silver one. Yeah. Same for all the enemies, like whoop-de-doo. Just hard. Their energy recharges. So you have to take them out quicker. Their health bar goes back up.
They have shields.
And then there's also this thing where it's they have these floating planks that are around, and they're on balloons are tied to them, and that's what's floating. And there are enemies that are up on these planks that you now have to like find ways to like get up to and take out. So like that's kind of cool.
My guess would be bow and arrow.
You could. Why not? So anyway, they with the hard mode, the only thing that I don't know how is it going to work is when are you going to be able to play hard mode? Are you going to have to start a new game to play hard mode?
Yeah, I would assume so.
But the problem is there's only one save file. You only have one save file. There's not multiple saves in Zelda. So you mean to tell me I have to delete my whole 100?
No, you need to make a second account on your Switch. The hard mode account.
Okay.
Yeah.
Problem
solved.
Will that work?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I've never done that.
As if like Daniel has his own account on my Switch. You know what I mean? So it's just like another person, so it's your hard mode account.
Okay, cool. Well, then I guess that's how you're going to get around it.
Problem.
But it's, that's just like, that's so dumb that it's like, why do I have to make a whole other profile?
No, I'm sure they're going to make it, they're going to do something.
Like, I'm not deleting 130 hours.
Or it's going to be like a second sub part of the game where it's like you go into the game, you have your hard mode version, you got your...
Sure. And then what I was listening to, actually, Game Explain was talking about it, and they were like... There's got to be a way to toggle back and forth because it's like how many games do you play where you're playing in hard mode, it gets too hard, and they're like, oh, do you want to turn it down to normal mode? And then they just turn it down right like that, and now you're in normal mode. Yeah. You know what I mean? So maybe you can toggle it on and off, and it just has to be like, oh, go back to the boot screen, you know. And
see, I don't think that's cool though. So. Like, it's cool if you can nuke it down. Like, let's say you start a game, you're like, I'm gonna play it on hard because I want to play it hard. But then it gets too hard, and you're like, nah, I'm really not feeling it. I want to go down back to medium, whatever you want to call it.
You should have to restart the whole game.
Yeah, if you want to go back high, you should have to restart. You know, you should only be able to go down, not back up.
Sure. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be cool to see how they do it.
Like that's basically your punishment for not trying to beat it hard.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, I totally agree. I just
like the whole point of being hard is to sit down, learn,
right,
learn the game yourself and all that, level up your character. Yes. Yep. And then you're going down, you're kind of going against that. So
totally agree. Next up is the Hero's Path mode, which all that is just like an extra line that follows Link around on the map. When you pull up, this is what the extra map feature was. Yeah. When you pull up the map, it has like a little green line to show you like where you've walked for the past 200 hours of gameplay. Okay. How many people have made it to 200 hours? Like
probably a lot.
It's insane. Nobody I've seen has been past 200. The highest I think I've seen is like 175.
What are you at?
Of all our friends, I'm at 130.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're getting there.
Yeah, I'm close. I got to put a whole another 70 hours into it. That's like playing through Persona, the whole
I
way.
mean, you already put in 2/3 of it, so what's another
I guess,
third?
yeah, that's interesting too. So that's what the Hero's Path mode is. Just tells you, and they said it's a good way to like figure out where you haven't explored yet. So like there might be a shrine or two over there, or there might be some Korok seeds or something. Because it's like if you look on the east side of the map and it's all green and you've just walked, all over there. And you look at the west side and it's like there's nothing there. It's like, okay, cool. Well, in 200 hours, I probably should go and investigate.
Yeah.
The west side of the map. So it's interesting. I think it'll be cool. Next up is the travel medallion that you get, which is a one-time use thing, or not one-time use, but you can only have one spot open, and it's just like a travel point. So it's like if there's somewhere where there's not a shrine, I can just set up a waypoint there, and I can travel back and forth whenever I want. But you can only have one open at a time. Okay. Next up is the Korok mask, which is an item that you get. It's a mask. Clearly looks like a little Korok thing, but when you get close to a Korok seed, it vibrates. Mm-hmm. So it helps you kind of like figure out where the 900 Korok seeds are in the game.
Yeah, that'll help. That should be in with the game, not DLC.
Sure. We're going to talk about that in a sec too. Next up is new equipment. And what that is 8 new pieces of equipment inspired by previous characters and games in the series will be added to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild after downloading the first DLC pack. Once discovered by the player, they will yield equipment themed after fan-favorite games and characters such as Midna, Tingle, Phantom, and Majora's Mask. Mm-hmm. So this is Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
A whole Tingle outfit, head to toe, all Tingle gear. Midna is the Cursed Shadow helmet that she has that you have to like. The point of Twilight Princess is to assemble this thing. Yeah. So you get that, you can wear that. And then the Phantom is the thing from Spirit Tracks. Actually, we thought it was Phantom Hourglass. It's actually from Spirit Tracks. It's the thing that Zelda like possesses. She's like a spirit, and she possesses it and like can fight with it and stuff like that. And so you get the armor that looks like that. So that's really cool. And I like that you have to find it. That it's not just like, hey, cool, here you go. It's like something you have to like look for and like actually like try and figure out where it is. Yeah. Which would be cool because there's like a lot of places in the game are like named specifically. So like there is a place called like Tingle Island in the game. And it's like cool, that would make sense if the Tingle gear was there. And like if there's something from Twilight Princess, so like okay, cool, that's where the Midna stuff is going to be, and it's like cool, something about Phantom, whatever. And that'd be really cool. And then they just say that the second DLC pack, which is arguably what most people want, is coming later. And then
great.
So there you go. So it's like right, like we don't know anything about that. So yeah, so this so the DLC is not sold separately. You can only get it with the $20 expansion pass. All right. So I was talking to some people, and they were like, "It's weak. It's good stuff, but it's like it's not worth the $20." And they said clearly, I only paid the $20 for what's coming in DLC Pack 2, which is the new story content, the whole new dungeon, and a bunch of new like armor and gear and stuff is what you're getting in DLC Pack 3. So it's or 2 rather. So it's like that's probably what you paid $20 for was the extra story and the extra dungeon because that's like real gameplay. You know what I mean? So it's like that's what you probably paid $20 for, and it's like so then you split it in half. This is $10. That's $10. Now, do you think all this is worth $10?
Personally?
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think you should have bought the pass before any of it was even announced or released.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Okay, cool.
It's worth $10. It's if you want it to be worth $10. A huge Zelda fan could be like, I pay $30 for this. Sure. So it's to the individual. Yes. Personally, I would wait to see what it is before I would ever buy a pass. At least have it announced. Be like, hey, this is what's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's our plan. Here's what you're gonna get. Okay, I'll invest in that rather than a bunch of generic things just put out there.
Okay. Cool.
So, like, we really don't know the specifics of 2, and everybody's saying they're looking forward to it. So, what are you looking forward to 2 and 2? You know what I mean?
Sure, and I totally agree with that. But I think, like, one of the reasons that I got this for sure, because, like, if this was, like, some other, like, random game that no one's ever heard of, and they're like, oh, yeah, here's a season pass, and it's like, yeah, we're giving you, like, more story content later, and you have to pay for it. I'd be like, no. But I think it's the fact that it's Zelda and it's Nintendo, and I just bought it on good faith that Nintendo's gonna perform well. Yeah. And like they're gonna add it. That's what it was. Like I'm buying it because it's coming from Nintendo. It's like I'm buying it from like a trusted person. You know what I mean? It's like like Nintendo has 5 out of 5 stars on Amazon right now. So that's why I'm buying it from them. Versus the random game who has 1 out of 5 stars on Amazon. No, I'm not gonna buy it from you. Or eBay or whatever. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna buy it from you because you have a bunch of like negative rating stuff. But Nintendo, like I trust them that they're gonna like deliver the thing. Especially since the base game of Zelda that they delivered was a 10 out of 10, the second highest rated game on Metacritic. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, cool, the same studio that brought me the second highest rated game and the first highest rated game on Metacritic, Ocarina of Time, and this, clearly they know what they're doing and they can release a good like DLC pack.
I agree with all that though. Yeah, so, it's going to be good.
That's why I think it's okay. But as far as this one goes, a lot of people were saying that stuff in this should have been just like an update thing. Like the trial of the sword, I get that should definitely be paid for. Like that's extra stuff. Hard mode, that's a toss-up that can be seen either way, whether or not you should have to pay for that or not. The hero's path mode, which like tracks you through the thing, that like should have been free. That 100% should have been like a free
You asked
thing.
me, is it worth $10? Yes, it's worth $10.
Okay, I agree.
No matter what, because as long as you're the Zelda fan, it's like if it was a game for me where I was really into it. I always think of Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
You gave me like a stage and characters, and all the characters played the same anyways. It was basically a different skin. $10. Yeah, that was awesome. So yeah, it's worth $10.
Cool. What about like Persona? Persona 5, if that had a season pass, would you buy it?
What's going to be on the season pass?
I don't know. They say
outfits.
They say we're gonna add more.
Like another palace, an additional palace.
Yeah, we're gonna say we're gonna add 4 more palaces. We're gonna add a new.
They couldn't do that because 4 more palaces is like an additional game.
Sure, they're
say,
mini palaces.
That's Mementos, and okay. But yeah, if they did something like that where it's like if you want to put in Dungeons terms where it's like, hey, here's you get another palace, you get another companion basically, and other just bonus side stuff.
Right. Here's all these new things. Here are new personas that you can get. Here are new items that you can get. Here's this new gear.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
This stuff. You'd buy that.
Absolutely.
There you go.
I know, but I would wait. That's what I'm saying. If they were just like, hey, Persona 5 season pass, I wouldn't go there and just be like, oh, take my money. Because what if it's like all cosmetic and now the music is going to be a different version of the music and all that.
Cool. So that's exactly what Breath of the Wild said though. When the season pass was coming out, it was detailed. It wasn't super in-depth detail this. I know. But it's not. They weren't just like, oh, hey, give us money for a season pass. We don't know what's going to be in it, but we'll tell you later.
It was just so generic that it was a little funny.
But that was just as generic as I gave it to you. A new companion and a new thing and some extra personas. Like that's as generic as this was. Yeah. And you said you'd get that.
But see, I think it's different because the game's out, so I knew it took me like 20 hours, not 20 hours, but 15 hours to beat the first palace.
Sure.
So I know right off the bat that's 15 hours.
Yeah. Same with Zelda, though, when reviews and stuff were like, oh, yeah, this game's taking me like 85 hours to get through the game, and I'm only 20% done in 85 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, totally different spectrums and whatever. But I think the Hero's Path mode, the thing that tracks you, that could have been an easy update. The travel
honestly, I'm disappointed, though.
Why?
There should be another 900 Korok seeds in this.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Like, why stop at 900?
Yeah, I totally agree. But yeah, that's the DLC pack. Like, it's going to be great, all that stuff. All right, and then the very, very last item, finally, is Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is for sure coming.
No, I don't think there's for sure.
I think it's pretty for sure.
Okay, I'm going to say this, though. That's out of everything that you told me today, that's probably my most anticipated.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
I know, yeah, you've not been feeling this episode. I can tell. You're not having a good day.
No, here's the thing. All that other stuff about this, yeah, that's cool. It's like, okay, 2DS is coming out. We've had 3DS for years, Okay. DLC and stuff like that, cool. But this is different, and it's cool because originally when I heard about it, which was from Daniel, my brother and everything, he's like, hey, they're supposed to be making a new Super Mario RPG. Love that game. Great game. So I was like, okay, I'm totally down for that. The Switch is going to come out. I'd love to play another good RPG with Mario-centric. Now they're saying it's going to play more like Fire Emblem. Mm-hmm. That's even better.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'll take it.
I like it. So yeah, a bunch of stuff's come out from it in the past things. I know Jason Schreier, who a lot of people look up to, says he had from a source who was, I think he was something like the art assets guy or something like that. Something to do with the arts, right? Something like that, I think.
The arts, the dark arts.
Yeah, something to do with that. And they asked it, like they sent in like photos or like screenshots or something of the game, but they asked him not to like put that in his article. So like the material that he gets.
So they actually sent him stuff that was like.
I think so.
Oh, because everything I read was like it's a rumor, and then all the comments were like, okay, good, we're getting more rumors as news.
No, yeah. So it
might have filtered throughout the weekend. I didn't see the final product.
Yeah. So his thing I saw, and this was like I think like literally yesterday or like 2 days ago. I think it was yesterday actually. I think I was at work when I got the tweet about it, and so it's like that's cool that like they sent him this up and they were like, yeah, like this for sure is happening, and you use this thing called a tutorial, is like how you like lead the characters around and stuff. And the very original like leak or whatever for it was a year ago from Laura Kate Dale, who said like, oh yeah, this is happening, and then the Nintendo E3 or not E3 but the Nintendo press conference happened in January and it didn't happen, and a bunch of people called her out for it, gave her tons of shit for it, were just like left and right like hating on her, and then now like it's coming out that it's like, oh yeah, this is a thing. But like a week ago they said, oh yeah, this is coming out, and there's going to be 4 characters. Like there's 4 Mario characters, which are Yoshi, Mario, Luigi, Peach are the 4 characters. And then there's but there's going to be 8 playable characters. No one knows who the other 4 are. And we were trying to think of like, oh, well, who's like the main Rabbid? Like who's like King Rabbid? Like they're all the same. Like there isn't one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're all stupid. Turns out in this Jason Schreier thing, is that the other 4 are 4 Rabbids that are dressed up like Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Peach.
Okay.
And they do have laser guns. It's their weapon. They have like laser arm cannons.
I saw that. It's like futuristic weapons.
Yeah, which is like that's so cool. Like I just think like this whole idea is like really cool.
So,
like Rabbids are dumb. I've never played a Rabbids game in my life, but it's hey, like it's still cool, and I'm glad like they're taking these risks. And like if they had any property to take risks with, 100% it's Mario, because it's worked time and time again. Like Mario Sports, like you couldn't have Zelda Sports, you couldn't have Metroid Sports. You know what I mean? But a Mario Sports game, yeah, that works.
You can have Metroid
You know
Sports.
what I mean? You can't have Metroid Kart. You can't have Zelda Kart.
I mean, you could have any of those if you wanted, though.
You could, but they wouldn't sell well and they'd be shit. So now you have Mario Kart, and that sells gangbusters.
It should be Nintendo Kart.
It should be Nintendo Kart.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the thing that was online. It wasn't a meme or something. It was just a picture, and it was like I'm an inkling girl driving an F-Zero car
Yeah.
on Animal Crossing's like track in a Mario game.
Yeah.
Like, and someone like the first comment or whatever should be like, that's why it needs to be Nintendo Kart, and just throw a bunch of Nintendo. Like it needs to be a Super Smash.
Yeah,
Kart.
but it's branded as Mario Kart now. Just keep it. That's cool. I'm
Yeah.
down with it.
And this thing, so like we need to have like a Super Smash Brothers of Mario Kart.
All right, let's throw out
which
some,
would be awesome.
speculation,
So,
okay?
So right now, so that was the news and everything that happened.
Whoa. Speculation for this game.
Oh, okay.
What was the thing you control the characters with, like Totoro?
Tutorial.
Sounds so close to like Tutorial.
I know,
why
that's
it's
what
like
I was
messing
thinking.
me up
That's
every
why I don't
time.
like it. I don't like the name. That's a bad name.
Tutorial. What if it's like, I'm getting a Toy Story vibe out of it, okay?
Okay.
Like, they're really just not, like, they're lifeless creatures. And somehow this brings it to life, and it's just like this game board where it's just constantly, like, scenarios going on in battles like that. Whereas an in-depth, like, not in a world of a Mario world, but I feel like there's going to be some kind of... Toy Story is the best way to put it. Like, when Andy would go into his room, they just look like toys. But then he leaves, and all those toys now have life in them. And I feel it's going to be some kind of twist like that, where it's not necessarily like a Mario world that's always living, where it's like this thing's controlling everything. It might be really good.
Yeah. The only thing that like throws me off is that it's called Kingdom Battle is the name of the game. And so is it the Mushroom Kingdom versus the Rabbid Kingdom? Are they fighting each other or are they helping each other? Like, are you gonna, like, in Fire Emblem, you have the Birthright side and you have the Conquest side, you know what I mean? And they're fighting each other in your respective game. So it's like, now are we gonna have you either pick the Mario side or you pick the Rabbid side, whichever one you want, and that's who you play as, and you have to go and fight the other side? You know what I mean? Like, is it how the story's gonna play out? I don't know. That's interesting. Or is it their kingdoms come together and they have to fight Bowser and whoever the Rayman bad guy is, who I have no
I think
idea who that
Ansem's
is.
going to be in this game, honestly.
You think?
Ansem! Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And then Goofy and Donald come in Riku, and then there's bad Kermit.
Yeah,
Riku!
Dark Kermit. That'd be
Come
awesome.
to the dark side.
That'd be awesome. Kingdom Hearts 3 confirmed,
On Switch.
right? I love it. So I don't know. So I think it looks cool. I'm definitely gonna buy it. Like, it sounds like a cool idea. Once we see like gameplay and stuff, that's got to be coming at E3. That's going to be there. Like, that's 100% gonna be at E3.
I'm down to see it. Bring it on.
But as soon as I see it, I'm like, that'll be a really cool thing. And speaking of E3, a little transition. Our topic of the show. What do you think E3? This is our E3
All right, how many do you want to go with?
I don't know. 5's fine.
How many do you have?
I have 12.
Let's do 10.
I technically have 13.
Let's try to do 10.
But,
Wait.
you go first. Just, you do your thing.
No, we'll go one after another, okay? You want me to start?
Yeah.
So they're going to announce a new Amiibo-based game. I want you to think like when Mario Party was first announced, like when Animal Crossing, well, there's Happy
Festival.
Home Designer, and that one because the one's card-based.
For sure.
There's going to be some new Amiibo game.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's Metroid. They're going to bring you the Metroid, but no, it's going to be like little Amiibo figures, and it's going to have a nice little gimmick like Animal Crossing did and everything.
Okay.
A game like that is going to be announced, and it won't sell well. People aren't going to like it. We might even get petitions to cancel it.
Okay.
So that's my first one right there.
Okay. Are we moving on to me?
Yeah, we'll go back and forth.
All right, so this is how I think it's going to start. So I had this already played out. Like, I have it like, this is how it's going to happen. This is what it's going to transition into, like all this stuff. So I say my number one thing, E3, all dark. You know, you're at a black screen, whatever.
Okay.
Fades in.
Yeah.
You get all red, and you have the white switch, like when it goes click. You know, like the
I thought you
or
were
the
taking
switch.
one of mine here.
No, really?
Whoa!
Oh, we're not going to look then. Yeah, don't look then. So then I'd say we're going to have the red screen, the white switch thing.
Yeah.
And it's going to start playing awesome Mario, trumpet, all this
Okay, yeah,
stuff.
that's not
It's
what
going
I
to be
have.
the Mushroom Kingdom. You're going to fade in. The camera's going to come and go, whoo, down like a roller coaster.
Okay.
You're going to zoom in on Mario. Super HD, first time Mario's ever been in 1080p. Mario, 60 frames a second.
I think he's been there before.
Mario. No, he hasn't. On what?
I don't know.
Exactly. So
on a screen on a computer for a picture.
Technically Mario Kart 8, I guess, but
exactly.
Anyway, so that's how it's gonna start. You know, you're gonna be running around, and it's just gonna follow. And it's gonna be a gameplay trailer, and it's gonna be the first thing that's gonna like walk us through gameplay, whatever, like that. The trailer ends, and as soon as the trailer ends, it goes, and the camera, and when it came down like this at the intro, it's gonna go up like this, and you're gonna
Lakitu's there, and it's on a string.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be awesome. And then Mario 64 2 pops up, but no. But then it pops up, and you're in the clouds, you're in the sky, whatever. And then
with Arnie Pie.
Yep, and then it scrolls past the sky. Now you're in outer space. You got like all the sprinkled stars going across the black
Mario
background.
Galaxy's flying
and then
by.
all of a sudden, all that fades out.
Okay, pans out.
Is going to be the date. The date's going to fade in white, and it's just going to be like 11, 14,
I like
17.
Where I was taking this, I was getting excited, and then you just tell me it's a date. It's like, okay.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to do. And so then you're finally going to get a release date, and that's how they're going to do it.
And then Battlefront's coming out on the same day, and then I'm going to be like, Battlefront.
Nope, because Battlefront's going to suck again, because it's EA.
Maybe, but
suck.
I don't know.
But then the trailer's going to end. And then right after the trailer ends, it's going to fade in. Everybody's going to be so happy. And then Koizumi, who is the new like face of Nintendo guy, the guy with the long hair who was sitting on the couch with the ice cubes and all that. Yeah. He's gonna walk up and he's gonna be like, "Thank you so much for watching that first exclusive look at Super Mario Odyssey. Today we're gonna talk to you a little bit about it." And then he's gonna talk about it for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever, and that's gonna be it. And then that's the first thing.
Okay,
that's how their E3 Direct starts.
Cool. Kind of like Watch Dogs. Here's what I have to say.
Sure.
The way I was seeing it start: black screen 2, okay, and the Switch thing comes down like you were saying, Red. Yeah. But then it starts bleeding, okay?
Oh my god.
Metroid pops on the screen. Metroid game rated A for adult. You know? It's going to be up there with Manhunt. And the Switch is like, yeah, we're getting all you guys back here. You guys were kids, you're ready for a game like this? And it's going to be like, think of a shooter like Doom.
No way. That'd be cool. That'd be awesome. Okay, that's cool.
So that's when you're like, and it's red, and I'm thinking like, oh my god, you're thinking my whole Metroid thing.
Nope.
But no, then you went to like, whoo, Mario pops out of a tube and it goes Kids Word, and I'm like, no, blood falls down Metroid.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I hope so.
That's what I'm saying.
That'd be cool. That'd be awesome.
So there's Metroid for me.
Then I think after that, it's just going to lead into 3DS/2DS talk. And they're just going to talk about that and like talk about where they're going, and they're going to talk about some new games.
Now, is this your third? Is this your second prediction or third?
Yeah, second.
Wait, what was your first one?
The Mario one.
Oh, so that was your first one. Okay,
you had your first one. Then I had Mario was my one. Then you just said Metroid. Now I'm saying 3DS, 2DS.
Okay, got it.
And so then we're going to have 3DS and 2DS. They're going to like show off the 2DS and be like, hey, here's all these cool functions. This is all this cool stuff it can do. Here are some awesome games that are going to go along with that. Here's some old games that we're talking about like Pikmin and you know whatever else. Here's all this other stuff. And then here's all the new stuff that's happening. So, and then it's just going to be
that's
3DS,
like guaranteed. Though,
and that's going to be the end of the 3DS section.
And the rip 3DS.
Yeah, a new one.
So I had mario+rabbids, but I mean, since it's announced now, we'll take it off.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that a Smash Definitive Edition, or like you want to call it Deluxe, something like that gets announced, and I'll throw the icing on the cake that they're gonna be like, and our P2, like Player 2 amiibos are selling great. We're gonna re-release the entire line of Player 2 amiibos.
That'd be such a disaster.
That's what I mean. But something like that's gonna happen.
That.
They're gonna be like,
There's
we're bringing you this one, this one, and this one. This is the first wave, and
nope, I wouldn't.
Something like that starts.
I'd be done. Nope. It'd be over. That's when
I don't know about that. You'll be salivating at the lips.
No, no, I'd lose my mind. But that's cool.
And you're marvelous.
All right, I think next up. So after you get to the 3DS, 3DS is going to end with something cool for Pokemon. The 3DS part of it is going to end with something cool from Pokemon. And they're going to say, and this is a great way to transition into our next upcoming Switch game coming out later this year. No release date yet. Pokemon Stars.
Okay, I mean, fair enough.
And that's
here's my only issue with this is yours are like you're predicting the show how it's going in order, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I want like my fourth prediction, okay? Reggie's gonna say something stupid that'll become the next Nintendo meme, okay? Like thinking my body is ready. Right? I'm happy like a purple Pikmin, like that kind of stuff. I'm ready for something new to happen and instantly on Twitter right after. Like when the fly flew on Hillary Clinton's face and like bam, it was instantly everywhere. Something like that's gonna happen with Reggie. He's gonna be on the internet again, everybody's making fun of him. I'm ready for it.
All right. That'll happen.
Exactly.
I'm like not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
Yeah, that's why I'm predicting it. All right, go with your fourth.
So then, my next up is going to be something about ARMS is going to show up. There's going to be like another ARMS and Splatoon collaboration kind of thing because they kind of look similar, and they're going to talk about that. And then they're going to move on to the next thing. So like, cool, ARMS is coming out like in 3 days. So it's like, here's a quick little snippet. Here's a new mode in Splatoon. Here's like the new stuff we're going on, and then that's going to be that.
Okay. They didn't announce anything about the SNES Mini officially yet, did they?
They have not.
So that was my next one. Is like the NES or the SNES Mini Classic, whatever you want to call it, is going to get an official announcement, and it won't be more than $100.
Okay.
So that's when it'll finally be revealed. It'll be hopefully, well, obviously it'll probably come out this year.
Right.
But we'll just get official data on it.
Okay, that's awesome.
Then.
I think next up after that, then they're gonna talk about the Nintendo Voice app thing. Like they're gonna go all in depth. Like somewhere in this conference, we're getting their internet compatibility thing.
Yeah.
Like it's happening. It 100% is happening.
Okay.
This E3, their Nintendo Voice thing.
Got it. Okay, I'm going to piggyback kind of on your 2DS, 3DS thing. So I think they're going to go more onto the 2DS stuff. But they might bring a game of new Nintendo Selects for the 2DS.
Oh, okay. That's good.
So I'm thinking there's going to be some kind of Nintendo Select thing possibly popping up like, hey, this console's cheap and we're bringing these games at $20 a piece. Here's... I really don't know what the games would be at, but...
Yeah. So now I just thought of this. I'm going back to the 3DS, 2DS thing.
Yeah.
I think the reason he says that they're going to keep the 3DS going is because they're not going to read and change all of the branding to be 2DS. So, like, if you look at a 3DS game, the case says 3DS on it. Like, they're not going to go through...
So they don't want to remarket something.
Yeah, they're not going to go through and re-release it as the 2DS because then parents are going to be like, oh, great. I have to have... My kid has a 3DS and I can't play these 2DS games on my 3DS. Oh, my God. And there's going to be a whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's why they're going to keep it with the 3DS, keep going for a little while. That's just a little side note tidbit. My
Sidebar.
next up after that is somewhere in this conference is they're going to announce Virtual Console. Virtual Console is going to be there in some form. Like, whether they talk about it and say, hey... I think this would be the perfect thing for them to be like, all right, cool, Virtual Console is happening. We've released these 10 games right now. Go and download them now. Like, you can download these 10 games from across all the different systems right now. Two of which are Super Mario Sunshine and Luigi's Mansion. And then, 2 from each console or whatever. Go and download now. More titles will come in the following months.
I'm thinking more of like Odama available now.
No, that game wasn't that fun.
Just saying.
Did you ever play it?
No. I know I don't need to play it.
Oh, okay.
I've seen enough just with the cover
Sure, okay. Yeah, that works.
Joking.
Okay.
All right, you ready for another then?
Yeah.
All right, I think round 2 of Nindies, maybe they're going to start showing more stuff like that to keep the ball rolling. Like, hey, we released these so far. They're filling the gaps. And here's what else we got coming up between now and the end of the year. So bring on the Nindies.
Nice. I think they're going to release something new. There's going to be a new IP announced. It's going to be something we've never heard of before, like that hasn't been leaked, no one said anything about it. It's just going to be something new coming for the Switch that's like a new like Nintendo. It's going to be like the next like Splatoon or something like that, where it's going to be like another like big like adventure kind of thing. Though it's going to be, I think it's going to be single player focused new IP.
Okay.
Is coming.
So I'm starting to visualize a new way the conference is going to start. Okay.
Okay.
Black screen, bubble pops, baby Mario's just sitting there, he's crying.
Yeah.
Yoshi's Island coming back.
Okay.
So some kind of new Yoshi's Island.
That'd be cool. That'd be awesome. I'd really like that. After that, that's how many are we at now?
That was my 8th. So you.
Okay. Some of these are gonna be doubled over though.
Yeah, that's
because I also said Metroid. I said Metroid's gonna be there.
Okay.
100%. Metroid will for sure be there.
100%.
Oh yeah. Actually, no, not 100%. I'm gonna dial that back to like 80%.
Just take Luigi's Mansion 3.
Somehow Metroid is gonna be there.
Okay. Well, I had GameCube Virtual Console in town too. I'll cross it off. You said it.
Cool.
Maybe they're gonna bring up Super Nintendo co-op games on the Switch again.
Oh,
because I remember they were talking about that.
That's right.
And then it completely just vaporized. And now it's like, hey guys, now that you want more information, these games are gonna be coming out. You guys are gonna be able to play them co-op on our program because we're gonna have to start soon paying for online.
Right.
Everybody's playing Mario Kart for free. Yeah, soon that's gonna be. Sorry, you need to be subscribed to whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they're gonna start detailing the SNES co-op stuff to get you hyped up for that.
That's cool. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Next up, I said that they're going to release a bunch of new Switch accessories. So I think we're going to get some new Joy-Cons announced. We're going to get some new cases. We're just going to get like a bunch of like new things. They're going to be like, oh yeah, here are these awesome like Switch headphones. Like I think somewhere in there before the accessories, these are going to be tied together. They're also going to address the problems that people have been having with the Switch.
I don't think they'd want to do that.
I think they're gonna be like, hey, we know some of you had some issues. It'll be just like a quick PSA thing, and this might even be at the end, like the very final thing is like, hey, if you've had any issues, please don't hesitate to reach out to Nintendo, blah blah blah. And these some are the accessories that we recommend, to help you. So it's like, hey,
that would be terrible.
Here's like a Nintendo.
That would kill it so bad.
Why?
It's just like admitting failure. It's not that bad. That's like being like, the Xbox One disk drive didn't work, so let's During our E3 conference, let's give you a way to fix it, you know?
I'm
And I was thinking
saying.
you got like a PowerPoint presentation.
I'm just saying, just like, hey, just keep it going. Because they talk about that in media all the time. Like, hey, reach out to Nintendo. So why wouldn't they say it when they know all the eyes are on them?
They should be
like,
hyping.
Hey, if anything happens, you know.
Reggie should be leading the hype train. Like,
For sure.
"What?"
So then maybe that's what they start with. Maybe they start with it being very, like, humbling, like, very, like, somber. And then right after that.
Samba de Mingo coming back.
Then that fades to black, and then it fades in with Mario.
And then it
Odyssey.
starts bleeding.
And then it's like... There you go. So
There's going to be
that's
blood
my thing.
somewhere. That's my first one.
Go for it, sure. I think the new IP is going to be
Bloody
Suda
Roar
51's
coming
new
back.
game. It'll be Suda 51's
Sweetie
new game.
6?
No, that's not Suda 51.
All right,
You
so
don't even know who that is.
I don't.
He did No More Heroes.
Okay, I'm okay with not knowing that.
Oh my gosh.
So here we go. I also had on this list Luigi's Mansion 3, but
Right.
don't really want to talk about it. You were talking about Joy-Cons and accessories.
Mhm.
I also had theme Joy-Cons maybe.
Mm.
You got Mario Odyssey, maybe one looks like a rabbit now. The rabbit's getting
okay.
out. Stupid stuff like that. Keep the 10th one simple. They're going to cancel Skyrim. Just be like,
Oh
sorry.
god, no way.
Like, this game's only 10 years old, but you know what? We just can't make it work on the Switch.
Okay.
And I'll take that for the 10th one.
Okay.
Skyrim's canceled.
My 10th one then I guess is going to be... I'm going to say there's going to be another new IP.
So, two new IPs.
There's going to be 2 new IPs announced somewhere in this conference. One of them is going to be new for 3DS. It's going to be some new 3DS game, something, whatever. And one of them's going to be
I don't think they'll
Switch.
ever get as high as Chibi Robo, though.
No, Chibi Robo is
That
the
was
master.
top tier.
Now, one thing, this might be off the cuff for you, but I came prepared for this one. I didn't want to waste it here.
Go for it.
What would be, if you had one, like, pie in the sky kind of thing, like, where it's just like, you know it's not going to happen, but if it did, you would just, like, break down into tears, what would happen? And I know mine, we kind of talked about last night,
Yeah.
but if we got a new Donkey Kong platformer that was like Donkey Kong 64, too. So if we got Donkey Kong Odyssey,
Yeah.
I'd lose my shit. I'd go absolutely insane.
Probably if Skyrim got canceled.
I'd go
No, probably-
8 on that.
Probably if Skyrim didn't get canceled. No, I don't know. I don't think there's anything like that would like.
You'd be
give me,
excited.
Like,
You'd
to
be
flip
like,
a
oh my!
table.
You'd be like, oh my god, yes, this is amazing. Skyrim's not canceled.
No, I'm joking
That
about
would like
it.
make you go so.
It's like such a joke.
Happy.
The game should be out by now. Yeah, I just want to like meme on that game.
Why?
Something that would be awesome, like for me though, would be like Luigi's Mansion 3, something where it's like really good on the Switch. It's looking, I'd be like, this is awesome.
Okay.
I'd really be looking forward to that. I want to say like another Mario Sunshine, obviously,
Okay.
but that's not
Mario
going to come
Sunshine
either.
2. Right. You never know though. That would make you super excited though if it happened.
Yeah, those two would be like
There
the
you go.
top tier
Okay.
of what I would like to see.
Dope. I think Luigi Mansion 3 has the best chance of happening. But like a new Donkey Kong, like Donkey Kong 64, that's never gonna happen ever.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, so like 64, what's 3D?
Yeah, that's
Got
what
it.
I'm saying. That's why I want like Donkey
Yeah,
Kong
that'd be cool.
Odyssey. Like that'd be awesome if that happened, but I know it won't. But it's
Donkey
like
Kong
if it
Odyssey.
did, that'd be awesome. That'd be so cool. That'd be awesome. Cool. So yeah, those are our predictions. We can't wait for E3 to happen, and then we're gonna rate ourselves on how right either of us were. See,
I got a 10 out of 10.
See who won this wonderful
Wonderful 101.
101.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So now we usually do the segment of Shrine of the Week, where I pick my favorite shrine that I played
Zelda's
through.
dead.
But Zelda, I've beaten all 120 shrines, and I noted all the cool ones.
So what do you want to go? Shine of the week?
No, now we're going into Play of the Week.
Okay.
And that's going to be what this is going to be. And it's going to be just something cool that we did over the past week that happened in a video game. Whether I was thinking something like in Mario Kart, like I had this really cool one where I like won at the last second, got a first place. Last one, got 3 stars in
Great
the cup
story.
on 150. It was crazy.
From last to first place.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm just giving an example.
No,
that
I'm messing
wasn't
with
my
you.
thing. And then, or it's like, because you're like speed running Super Mario Sunshine now, and you're like getting super into that. So it was like, is there something that happened where it was like, oh my god, I was like 5 seconds away from getting my personal best? Like, I'm really making progress.
Yeah,
towards
when
it,
I
like, something like that.
When I failed
like,
to do the cutscene skip on Pit Island, so I had to watch it.
Yeah, so it's like
And I just lost 2 minutes, and I was like, all right, let's watch this.
yeah, so like something like that. So you got anything like that?
Like good that happened?
Yeah.
No, only bad stuff happens when
Well
I'm on
then, give me a
Sunshine right now.
story. Tell me a story.
I'll tell you a
I
good
tell
story,
all the
okay?
Stories.
So when so I was running Sunshine, and of course random people were jumping into the chat and everything and being like, hey, I'm just learning this game. So they didn't know, and they couldn't even do the glitches and stuff, and they're like talking about it. And then
Those
my boy
failures.
Junji hops in the chat,
Ah, Junji.
and he's like, hey, just so you know, anything that you know so far, you're going to unlearn by watching Sundowner. And I'm just like, all right, cool. And that's my story.
That was a good one. Way to go.
I know.
Way to go. Cool story, bro. Tell it again. That was great.
All right, so I was switching Mario Sunshine.
Yeah, so that's Play of the Week. That's
Okay,
what
I got
happened this
another
week.
story too, but I wasn't playing this game. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
Got it.
Completely outside of the realm of any of this.
Yeah.
So Jonah was playing,
Uh-huh.
and he was telling me this yesterday when I saw him. He's like, yeah, so they were in a match, And it was just a bunch of people standing around. And one guy was just yelling, snake, snake, snake. Because in that game, you have the capability, you just hit T or whatever button it's bound to. And you could speak to anybody in your vicinity. So they're yelling, snake, snake, snake. And every character goes prone and just stands in a line like a snake. It was so good.
That's hilarious.
So there's your second story.
That's so cool.
Would you like to hear it again?
No,
Okay.
that was good for one time.
Okay.
And then we also got no comments or anything this week and no tweets from you guys this week. So there is no question of the week. So until we get something, there won't be a question of the week. So,
Okay. I think we'll be okay.
So just say something. Just tweet at us. Like, leave a comment. Do something. Do something that is engaging, because that'd be awesome. And we want to talk about it, and we want to talk with you about it, because of course the reason you're watching Nintendo is because you love Nintendo. As do I. You know, I don't know about Ryan. He's kind of But I love Nintendo. So I would love to talk to you about Nintendo things. So please shoot me a tweet, leave me a comment, do something that
You
is
can slide
like,
into your Instagram DMs or something too.
slide into my Instagram DMs. I wouldn't care. I'm probably on Instagram more than anything else. Just don't do anything on Facebook.
I'm gonna
I'm
say
never
this
on
too.
there.
I know
But,
I
like,
sent you a Facebook request like a year ago because it's only like I made a Facebook maybe like a few months ago for the first time.
How did you send me a request a year ago?
No,
when
okay,
you
yeah.
made it a few months ago.
It's like one of those things where it's like I guess it's scientifically proven that let's say I was gonna go to your house.
okay.
If you were like, how long does it take to get there? I'd be like, oh, it takes like 30 minutes, not long.
Yeah.
And then when it was like, yeah, but how far away is it from you? I'd be like, oh, like 30 miles. When it's really like 15 miles and it would take me an hour to get there, where you downscale the time it takes to get there, but you upscale the distance. If
So
that makes
this
sense.
is
So
so
I
wait, so
upscale-
that's your explanation for saying you friended me a year ago, but you only created it a few months ago?
Correct.
Is the same as your distance thing that you just said.
You got it.
Okay. Anyway,
Did you
continue.
get the
I
correlation?
understand. I get it.
So I sent you a Facebook request. You still didn't accept it. So yeah, they can't send you stuff on Facebook.
Yeah, don't say
We're not even friends on it or
I'm
anything.
never on Facebook ever. Like, Facebook's dumb. But whatever. Twitter.
I would disagree.
Instagram. I would agree.
I only
with what
I only
just
made a
said.
Facebook for one
And
reason.
YouTube comments down below. Leave me something.
Yeah, for one.
Cool. So, final wrap up. This is Nintendo Nation. I'm Joe. This is Ryan. This is SuperGen's podcast that focuses only on Nintendo things because that's all that matters in the world is just Nintendo. So please, again, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought. Leave a like if you liked it. Leave a dislike if you disliked it. If you did dislike it, let us know why. We always want to fix it. We always want to do better. So let us know, please, and subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything SuperGen does, like the SuperGen podcast and Nintendo Nation. Anything else, any let's plays, previews, reviews, anything we do, you'll stay up to date. And then I also want to plug Ryan's Twitch channel, Sundowner Iffy 117, Sundowner 117
And you didn't even say
Iffy.
it right, so
I don't
it's
even know.
okay.
You do
won't
it.
find
Say it in
anyway.
there. Sundowner.
SUN. No, Sundowner 117 IFY.
Yeah, just like it sounds.
You could even understand
Sundowner
that.
117, like Master Chief IFY.
It has nothing to do with
on
Master
Twitch.
Chief.
It's exactly like Master Chief. It came from Microsoft, so it's Master Chief. On Twitch,
Yeah, I
though,
took it from Microsoft.
does speedruns, plays Mario Kart with the community, all this great stuff. It's wonderful. It's a good
I just
time.
meme
I'm
for
sometimes
days on
hanging
there.
out with there. Send them all the bits you can.
I need the
Check
bits.
it out.
Now that
Check
I,
it out.
yeah,
We need the
I
bits.
I
To
need
keep-
bits
to keep
the lights on.
to
we
keep
need
this
bits.
thing going. We need the bits. So just
Give me your
check out
bits,
all those things I just said.
please.
I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Once again, I'm Joe. This is Ryan, and this has been Nintendo Nation.
I'm the bit master, actually. The bit thief.
Yeah.